Here at the Colfax High Mill and Wood Shop. Today I'm going to go over the DeWALT stand I have for my sliding chop saw. I've been trying to get all my sliding chop saws figured out, and I'm just going to go over the stand a little bit today. And stay tuned. Okay. I've had this DeWALT 12-inch sliding chop saw for quite a while. I used to have it tabletop mounted over there. This is a little short in the motor, and I replaced it with a Makita sliding chop saw. You can see my other videos for that. And then I used the Fast Cap Best Fence system over there, and that is all working out really well. So then what to do with this kind of older DeWALT chop saw? So I bought the DeWALT DWX726 stand for it. I got it on Amazon. It's a little over a couple $100. I just got it. Some students put it together yesterday. So far I like it a lot. These arms travel out this way. So this helps it travel out. It'll cut up to an 8-foot board. It travels on both sides equally. So there's a right hand and a left hand travel. It has tracks that travel on here, and you can bolt the saw directly to those tracks, but instead I ended up bolting a piece of 3/4 inch plywood to it instead, and then screwed this down. And part of the reason I did that is to have a little bit of a workspace here for tapes or paper or cut lists, and also it'll be easier to pull a saw on and off because it's pretty heavy all together. I think this is probably about 30 pounds or so, and I think the stand's about 60 pounds. So I have it screwed down right now. I have it a little favored to the right side to make sure. I usually use a left-hand fence to give me a little bit more cut distance here. And as far as the stand goes, so far we've only just used it a little bit, but we mill our own lumber. So my hope is that we'll be able to roll this stand and saw out into the yard where we mill our lumber, and on the narrower boards we could kind of cross cut them out there, mostly so they'll stack vertically really nicely and get rid of some of the checking. Okay. So that's kind of the overall intent with it. The stand actually wheels around pretty well. It's not light, so you can wheel it pretty well fully set up like this. Kind of a couple important things to remember is you do want to make sure the blade is locked down here so it's not popping up, and that the slide is also locked. So that's the lock for the slide. Here's the lock for the saw. You don't want this thing traveling around. The cuts we've made so far with it is actually really stable. Even with these outriggers all the way out and a heavy board on here, we actually haven't, or I haven't felt any tipping on it at all. So I really like the stand a lot. Really stable, really big, and with that comes the additional weight. It does have multiple height adjustment, and it has an ear spring on there. So let me lock this back down. Lock that in place. So it has multiple heights, which is really nice. The other nice thing about this board is, you know, if we took the sliding miter off, we could put another tool on here really quickly. Has a nice solid handle here and a release lever. You do have to pick it up a little bit, and then it'll drop down. And then there's that pneumatic going down, and then it's locked in place. And then you can lift it, roll it, and it actually stacks vertically with the saw on there pretty well. I mean, it's a pretty big footprint, but at least it's up and out of the way. Oh, time for class. Gotta get going. All right, it opens up pretty much the same way too. And there it is, ready to go. All right, so there's a DeWALT rolling stand. I give it, so far, maybe a 9 out of 10.